Good morning and happy Moon Day. It's Claudia Thompson of Moon Powered Astrology here, tuning you into the moon for the week. We've got a huge week coming. If you're here with me live, please check in, let me know. I hope you can hear me. I'm on my iPad, and so I can see comments as they come through and questions if you have any. It's a huge week coming up. As Ed Sullivan used to say, it's a really big show going on this week. And last night, around 6:30ish, we had Mercury move in direct motion in Taurus. And it's like maybe some of you are in the mode of, well, doesn't seem to be showing up for me yet. The shadow will last until the 31st of May. So if you have Mercury prominent in your chart ruler of your moon, your sun, Taurus prominent in your chart, you may still be feeling it. Mercury backed up right by my moon. So it's almost like I feel a tracto beam pulling it forward with the insights and the things that we're all being asked to plant, because we have a week of a huge aspect going on that I'll be talking about that is really going to shake things up. And then we have the new moon. The sun moves into Gemini. Mars moves into Leo. Oh my gosh. And Jupiter moves into Taurus. So let's get going. Put your hands up in your lap, feet on the floor, and let's do our heart drop. Close your eyes. Feel your sits bones on the chair supporting you. Feel yourself supported by the earth and your environment. And just become aware of where the breath is in your body as it comes and goes. Now focus on the breath coming up from below the soles of your feet, that beautiful earth energy wafting up through every cell of your body as you inhale through the nose and exhale through your mouth. And on the next breath, be aware of the trillions of cells in your body receiving that prana, that life force from source, all the way up through your legs, your torso, up through your shoulders, down to your arms, to your fingertips, and all the way up to the top of your head. And on the next breath, as it comes to the top of your head, see white light pouring down through your crown chakra. And as that white light pours down through your crown chakra, on the exhalation, it fills every cell of your body and cleanses away any negativity, anything that is preventing you from being present here in this moment with me, savoring your life on planet Earth. And on the next breath, all the way up to the top of your head, and on the exhalation, allow your consciousness, your focus, to drop behind your facial mask, down through your neck and throat, through your chest, into your heart. And if you put your fingers together on your heart, you'll find that your attention goes there pretty immediately. Now breathe in that beautiful rosy ray into your heart, filling your heart with self-love. And now a green, emerald green ray comes to join it. This is the mandate going forth in your life, especially with the Taurus influence coming up, ruled by Venus, living from the heart, living a heart-centered, echo, also centric, earth-centric life. Fill your heart with that light of self-love and the light of healing, the emerald and rosy light. And now it overflows, filling every cell of your body, moving through your skin into your auric field, filling the field around you, and now moving out into your whole environment. Breathing in and out of your heart and feeling that energy move through every cell of your body. Hang with that for a minute. I'm going to turn the air conditioner off. A couple more delicious deep breaths, even out of the heart. And now tap tap here, mid-chest, the thymus area. As we say 3 times, repeat with me. I deeply love and appreciate myself. I deeply love and appreciate myself. I deeply love and appreciate myself. Yeah, so here we are. And like I said, we got a big week coming up. Right now, the moon is in Aries at about 4 degrees. And it will remain there for a couple of days. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and it changes phases every 3.5 days. So it's like this double helix that's going on all the time. So first, I just want to mention that we're going to be leaving the Aries cycle. And it really underscored the Aries energy in our lives because we had 2, not just 1, but 2 consecutive new moons in Aries. The first at 0 degrees, which said time to initiate something, the beginnings of spring, right? And then we had a full moon in Libra saying, are you balanced between me and we? Do you have good boundaries? Are you, how's the balance and the harmony in your life between the warrior energy and the lover energy? And then we had a new moon, total solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries, telling us something was coming to an end big time, that a door had closed behind us in the area of your chart, wherever 29 degrees resides. And then we had a full moon on the 5th of May in Scorpio. And boy, was that something, right? I know a lot of you had family drama. The outlet for the T-square that was created was in Leo. And I did mention that, but it's still, the drama kind of surprised a lot of people. And it's just old, it's that old emotional energy. And Leo desires appreciation. It loves drama. And so we got to look at all of that. And as Buddhism says, if it's happening in your life, happening to you, it is, it's about you. It's something that you are seeing reflected or projected. And so, I mean, the good news is you can handle it, right? It's up to you. You can take control. You can take the reins on that stuff. But how much drama were you experiencing? It was very, very emotionally intense. And this eclipse energies are going to continue to unfold as we see secrets, betrayals, lies, corruption really coming up, especially as we move through the Pluto retrograde period and it backs up in June into Capricorn. Reviewing all that those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear have witnessed. And a lot of us just know this stuff is going on. We've lived it. We've watched it unfold our whole lives, right? So the health emphasis was the blood through the brain, the face, the muscular structure. That's Aries. The relationship axis, which with the nodal axis will be moving into Libra and Aries in July. So this is kind of a preview, this particular cycle, looking at our relationships and how balanced we are in our boundaries and where there may be relationships that no longer serve, that are no longer aligned with our values. And it's like pushing a boulder uphill. And we need that energy. We need that energy for the love revolution and the new earth that's being created in the lives of each one of us. And then when business, with Aries, with all that Aries energy, 2 new moons, it's like in Aries, the seeds get planted. They sprout quickly sometimes, and then they're gone because it's like an array of seeds that have been planted without roots, without grounding. And this is what this next cycle is going to be asking us to do, to not plant tons of seeds, but look at the seeds that are aligned with our values, aligned with our vision, and make sure that that seed or those seeds take root step by step with patience, tenacity, thoroughness, reliability, the things that Taurus is good at. Taurus can endure. And we've got a configuration coming up with this new moon that guarantees permanent change, not just change, but permanent change. And we are in a 5-month, it's the 5th month of the year by that wonky Gregorian calendar that we all seem to march to in this world. But at any rate, in a 5 month, 5 is change. 5 is the middle of a numerological cycle. And so it tells us that change is a sure thing. And on the 2nd of May, Pluto moved in retrograde motion. And so it's going to make that journey back into Capricorn. And we're really going to see some stuff around the government, etc. And all over the world, we may see leaders, try to maintain power, and we may see many leaders fall because there are Ixion is part of this mix, some of those dwarf planets that are way out there. And this just shows you how powerful they are as part of the pantheon. So today, Moon in Aries. Later today, we will enter the balsamic phase. Right now, we are in the last quarter phase. And the last quarter phase is the phase where we take stock. We take stock of the cycle of where we are in life, and we look at where we might need a new attitude. Maybe our attitude isn't aligned with where we really want to go. Have you allowed negativity to seep in during this aftermath of this lunar eclipse? And so that's something to take a look at. So the week starts off, it's lovely to have a moon in Aries to start off the week, right? It's like, whoa, okay, I got some go juice. Mercury's direct, but the Aries moon is ruled by Mars, and Mercury direct is in a sign that's ruled by Venus. So that can either be a really good balance, or it can be, like wild horses charging ahead, ready to go off and, go where no one has gone before, and the energy that wants to sit in the pasture and smell the flowers, be comfortable right where it is. So see how that balance is in your life today. Are you still going in 2 different directions, 2 different speeds? Or are you breathing fully, dropping into your heart and allowing the energy to become deeper, more balanced, and present? Be present in the present as the presence. I hear that all the time. That's what I aim for. So in Tuesday, Jupiter moves into Taurus, and that takes us back to 2011. So the last Jupiter was in Aries for 5 months, really showing us the difference between Mars, Jupiter in a sign that's ruled by Mars. I mean, usually Jupiter is an annual, a year-long cycle, goes around this whole zodiac once every 12 years. And so look back at what expanded in 2011 in your life. What opportunities came to you? And was it a prosperous time? These are all things that are possible with Taurus. Were you linked to nature? This is a big one. As Jupiter moves into a sign that's Venus ruled. So it's a big shift in energy. It will be there until May 25th of 2024. So we'll have a full year run with it. And because Taurus has to do with the banking system, prosperity, the earth, the food supply, we're going to see things around all of this. So it's really important that you make sure you have high quality food. Grow some herbs, grow some vegetables if you can. In community is a beautiful way to do it. But whatever you can do, and get ready to plant, because this is an extremely fertile time with this new moon coming up, and has been with the sun in Taurus. So the Jupiter moves into Taurus, but the big thing is it squares Pluto right away. Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees. And it asks you to be fearless and have faith. Faith, hope, charity, those are Jupiterian words. Jupiter turns us into our bigger purpose. And it's one of the great benefics. So we have Taurus being Venus ruled. That's one benefic, or one of the brightest lights in the sky. And then Jupiter. And Jupiter is the second. And it is called the great benefic. They're both called benefics. But the great benefic, Jupiter, those two, Venus and Jupiter, are the brightest orbs in the sky. So, to our naked eye. So forget the idea of fate and step into empowerment. That's what you're being asked to do. How can you mold the most beautiful future you can imagine? That's the question to ask yourself. Venus, beauty, magnetism. How we attract and receive what we want. What do we love? I know I was listening to Louise Hay the other day, and she gave a really good exercise. And that was just to start saying, I love. I love the sunshine. I love this day. I love all of you. I love my work. I love my body. I love, I love, I love. And then another one that's really wonderful is so-and-so brings me joy. Maybe people, places, things, activities that bring you joy, so that you can just uplift yourself instantly, of course, dropping into your heart as much as possible. This is, I welcome an expanded consciousness of love. Mars, energizing love, energizing your love revolution. What a beautiful idea, right? And replace not enough with the I love it. I love it when. I love it when. I love it when. And you say it when you're in the feeling, because as you know, you don't want your feelings to be at odds. You want it to support what you're saying. Your words create. So, move into gratitude as much as possible, because this week has one of the most difficult, some say the most difficult aspect of the year. And Mars moves quickly once it gets into June, breaking up a corner of the grand cross that's forming this week. So then we'll see some movement in direction. But meanwhile, just remember, you're planting a garden. And usually with a garden, we have a plan, and we, again, want those seeds to be well nourished and planted deep with faith and trust, and with a willingness to continually be thorough in our watering, be reliable, and have that faith. So on the 17th, which is Wednesday, the moon moves into Taurus at 5:17 a.m. And there is the T-square with Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto. Mars is moving into Leo. And this T-square is going to be strongly felt from the 17th through the 21st. So the second half of this week. And this is where there can be a huge shakeup going on. Huge, huge, huge. Huge is a word for Jupiter. So if there's a shakeup, it's going to be huge. And we move toward the new moon on Friday, which is going to be at 28 degrees of Taurus, Uranus is involved in a conversation with the new moon as the moon moves forward to meet the sun, as the sun gets ready to exit Taurus and move into Gemini. And so Uranus reminds us, it shakes the Taurus energy out of its lethargy, out of its comfort zone. It says, innovate. What are you going to do, and how are you going to do it differently? Create a revolution in your thinking, and where you're stuck, and where you're intractable or stubborn. These are all possible sides of Taurus. But Taurus builds over time. It's one of the master builders. It's an earth sign, fixed earth. It can hang in there for the duration. So that's going to be beautiful energy to have. So on the 20th is when Mars really joins the T-square with exactitude. Passion, drama, confidence, stepping out in light, stepping out with your light worker self, showing up. Passion. These are the things that Mars in Leo will bring to us. And the part of Jupiter squaring Pluto is going to go on into the first half of June. But the last time that we had Jupiter and Pluto, they were conjunct, they were united with each other in late March of 2020. So that's when this particular pairing of this transit was kicked off. And now this time denotes the first quarter of that transit. So we're going to take action on the things that this expansion of our awareness of power and our own self-empowerment. How are we going to expand that? We're going to see the expansion of, of the lust for power of the patriarchy and of the top-down hierarchical concept. We're going to see that expand as the old trappings are, people try to hold on to the old trappings and the old ways and the old paradigms. But remember, that door closed, that door that closed at the eclipse. And it was all about power. It was in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto and Mars. So power expands beginning now, beginning this week. Power expands. What does power mean for you? Where is the 0 degrees of Aquarius in your chart? And what ground is it going to cover as it moves back and shows you, reminds you of the things that you learned about power and empowerment over the past year and choosing your battles wisely? So we had Saturn move into Aquarius in 2020, and then we had the lockdown. So now we've got this first quarter, which is always a time to take action. And it's a time of a big reevaluation. So Jupiter's going to expand the great resourcefulness, the power, the power of wealth, also debt, default, and deficits. So get your ducks in a row, handle any debt that you have, and look at having a plan. What was your plan when the solstice happened? Now we are in we're in the gibbous phase of the year, getting ready for the full moon, the solstice. So this is your framework as far as what you're working. So whatever is going on, taxes, all of these things, fall under the aegis of Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus, because Jupiter will expand those things. So in 2011, let's look back for just a second at 2011. The debt ceiling crisis happened, and here it is again, while this square is in operation. So we're called to operate in service from the heart. It's like, oh my gosh, the banking system, how do I navigate this? Operate in service from the heart, and you'll be okay. Have a plan, plant a seed, nurture the seed. Watch it grow, connect to the earth, be connected to nature. There's someone named Clint Ober whose life work is earthing. And if you haven't checked that out, this is a great time to check it out, Clint Ober, Earthing, because he has a book called Earthing, and it really talks about how our disconnection from the earth has expanded and moved into a crisis point over the last 50 years. And so reconnecting, very, very important. So there are things that you can focus on without getting caught up in the media scramble to keep you in fear. Because there are really good things happening. We're just not hearing about them. We're creating them. Yeah. So, let me see here. So you may experience gridlock, frustration, so there's a big desire to break out of the old box, and Uranus in Taurus supports that. It's telling you. And so this new moon, which is interesting because it's kind of a launch new moon with all the energies that are going on, even though usually the full moon is the time when you launch, this is the time to really take that wish out of the eclipse season and bring it forward into your intentions. So we've got this square continues actually, through next week, because next week we're going to have it really involve the nodal axis strongly. So it's just this whole week is boom, 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 as Pam Gregory says, boom, boom, boom. We've got one thing after another. And the last part of May is really fast. So, that's next week. It's a new moon. It's new moon energy. So it's moving, it's dynamic, it's eventful, and lots of challenges to your beliefs and values as secrets spill out, not only on a global scale, but within your own psyche. What's kind of been hidden from your view? What's coming up for you so that you can eliminate, deal with it, face it, and reclaim the energy. And that may take a while because these are deeply buried, and we've developed a lot of different tools to keep them buried. So now they're coming up. Have great compassion and self-love for yourself. Do the tapping on the thymus. I deeply love and appreciate myself as often as you think about it. It's really powerful, powerful, powerful for healing and balance. So I just want to see where we are. I mentioned about the grand fixed cross, and that is Mars in Leo, the North Node in Taurus, the South Node, the past, in Scorpio, and Pluto in Aquarius. This is a powerful T-square. And when we have, Grand Cross, when we have all four areas of fixed signs occupied closely, exactly like this, because the nodes are moving back, getting ready to shift in July. So as this is all happening, this guarantees permanent change. So we get to see where we hang on by our fingernails, so to speak. There was an image that my guide showed me years ago because I was born under a moon in Taurus. And even though the moon is exalted in Taurus, Taurus knows how to hang on like nobody's business. It wins because it can outweigh anybody. But I was in a situation where I needed to let go and move forward. And they showed me with my fingers on the door jamb of a door. And I was being blown sideways by the winds of change in my life. And one by one, my fingers were being released from that door jamb so the winds of change could carry me and I could move, I could rise to meet them. That's what's happening now. So where are you hanging on to the door jamb of your old life? That door is closed, remember? A new one is opening big time. This can be a very prosperous year, a year of reward, a year of really appreciating beauty in every area of your life, of appreciating and savoring life. It tells you that the Taurus new moon says, come to your senses, literally. Add massage, the power of touch to your health plan. Eyes, ears, nose, throat, Taurus. The voice, Taurus. Venusian, how can you be less, how can you move from the energy of Mars into Venus? They're squaring each other because, Mars is in a fixed sign in Leo. So Leo wants to be appreciated. Taurus energy thrives when we appreciate. So, you can look at where the ego gets in the way of the conversation that needs to be had so that you can move forward on what you're planting at the new moon. So this is an intractable situation. You get to look at where you're at your own stubbornness and intractability. So we are looking at some kind of new financial system probably coming this year. But it doesn't mean you have to be afraid of that. The more you can tap into your fearless self and yourself that really, really thrives and savors the beauty of your very existence in a physical body. Taurus is the material girl of the zodiac. It's a fixed earth sign. So something, just to say simply is prosperity loves me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prosperity loves me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything is working for me all the time, and I always attract and have what I need. And I know that I have enough because I am enough. So this is one of the things also with Jupiter moving into Taurus, overindulgence. And during this year, you want your life, your horizons to expand, not your waistline. So, you can watch, since the moon has to do with how we nourish ourselves. How do you nourish yourself? Do you overindulge? And what is enough? Taurus energy is the hoarder of the zodiac. So this is a great time to complete that spring cleaning, to let go. Everything you own has a cord of energy to it from you. And so that's something to think about, right? I've been doing some cleaning out of a storage bin, finally, that actually originated, the stuff that's been carried across the country originated in 2011. So I'm looking at, bringing that Jupiter cycle to an end, big time, so I can step forward in a new way, free of all of that, free of all of those cords. Good fortune, higher purpose, our worldview, these are all things that come under Jupiter's aegis. And higher knowledge and enlightenment. So with those things, you will be planting some seeds and creating some roots. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. That's Robert Louis Stevenson. I like that. I think that's so perfect for this grand fixed cross that's going on. Share the things that you've done where you were brave. It takes strength and courage to stand up to your enemies, but even more to stand up to your friends. J.K. Rowling. Because many of us are being asked to forge in new directions. And as I said, that may mean that some relationships fall away, where it's just not in alignment. I really maintain a positive attitude. I'm dedicated to that as one of my values as much as possible. And so when I find that there are people who are just negative, that's their value, I'm finding that I have to just completely move away from them in my life. And because it's their journey. They've got a right to put forth negativity all the time. I just, it's not part of my plan. Right. So you have, you get to choose these things in your own life. And when Jupiter is in Taurus, remember the universe rewards courage, and it's time for you to make a breakthrough. The thing that can hold you back from the incredible gift that this transit can be is your comfort zone, not being willing to try new things and move out of your comfort zone, to be so sure of your rightness in the way you're living now that you don't allow the explorer, the adventurer that is part of Jupiter. I'm looking for the new moon on the 19th on Friday will be at 8:53 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time at 28 degrees and 25 minutes of Taurus. As you can see, that's really close to the critical degree of Taurus as it moves out, as the sun moves out into Gemini. So it is underscoring again old habits and patterns that the door is closing on that need to come to an end in your life so that you can establish abundance, an abundant mindset, and literal abundance in your life. And that begins by recognizing all the abundance that's in your life every day, right? Because you are an example of the abundance of source. The expression of you is the abundance of love as a creative force manifesting in the world in all your magnificence. And you are all magnificent. I hope you affirm that for yourself. Your fabulosity, your magnificence, your beauty, all of that. Because if you wait for the world to affirm it, everybody's in their own thing, right? Everybody's busy. And the world, marketing-wise, is going to always show you where you're not enough and you need this or that. But if you just sit and become present and drop into your heart, you'll know not only are you enough, you're a magnificent expression of source. So what grows and where is this for you? Where is Jupiter in Taurus going to transit for you? Jupiter, the North Node, Mercury, Uranus, the moon and the sun, all in Taurus at the time of the new moon. Grounding. Uranus is electricity. And so your connection with the earth grounds that electricity. So as we move through the week, we have the sun moving into Gemini. At the end of the week, depending on where you are, late on the 20th or early on the 21st. And so, that'll be a shift. And Mercury is moving forward, which is the ruler of Gemini. When the moon is new, bring your wish forward from the full moon eclipse. and make an intention, include it in one of your intentions. The health focus I mentioned will be the the thyroid, the ears, nose, throat, the neck. This is all Taurus. And movement remains important as it was during the Aries cycle. Coming to your senses, the power of touch, the 5 senses. Taurus is also highly intuitive, especially with Uranus there. So continue to listen for the messages throughout the rest of May. Look back. I hope you've been journaling. Look back at your journal to see what came forth. I had some people subscribe. Kathleen was the name of one of them. I'm going to be pulling the people who subscribe off YouTube and thanking you. It means a lot to me. I really, really appreciate it. I had comments from many of you last week. I tried to answer them. My Facebook is wonky like everybody's is right now. But know that if I didn't respond to your comment, I apologize, but I saw it. And I just so appreciate it. And there were a couple of shares. But those are the things that really keep me going. And I've been doing this for a year and a half now. And I would love to know if it's of benefit to you, if it uplifts you, if you find it helpful, because it's where a lot of my time goes, just looking at the information for you and looking at what I can do to uplift you and help you move into more self-love, because that's the answer for everything right now. It is your guide, and it will move all the things out of your life that aren't aligned with the magnificent year of prosperity that you have ahead. You can book a reading. It's a great time with these eclipses and the fact that everything is continuing to move forward at a great pace. So it's a great time to find out what that means for you personally, how to navigate it and take the best advantage of it, of these energies. They're all, everything is kind of once in a lifetime now, and we're entering whole new territory. You can see the replay on YouTube, on Facebook. And I want to ask all of you something really special from me. You can see that I have inflammation going on, and it's from some stress, but it's I've had a couple bouts with it now where it's chronic. And so if you are a healer with positive, only light-filled positive energy, who knows how to work with spontaneous healing and send some good energy to me for just miraculous results, I would so appreciate it. I want to move through this. I am moving through it. With Aries, all that Aries energy, and Mars, my body, is quite literally the universe. It always outpictures in me. But I am calling for whatever support and help that I can get in this particular time. And I've never done this before. So I thank you in advance. And this is quite a week. Jupiter moving into Leo, which it'll be there, through June. And look at how you step out. How can you let your light shine? What's the seed you're going to plant to let your light shine steadily, with endurance, with prosperity and abundance, with joy? As we look at relationship, Taurus is loyal and steadfast. And so that comes into, the Mars in Leo says, well, I want romance. I want passion. I want to be appreciated and adored. But Taurus is in it for the long haul. And it roots once it commits to a relationship. Although you may find that Uranus keeps upsetting that apple cart to make your relationship paradigm even newer, more innovative, different, more suitable for where you are now. As far as business goes, wow, Jupiter in Taurus, this is a really great time for opportunities in business. So setting that intention, moving into your heart, writing it down, getting a picture of it, closing your eyes, dropping into your heart, and then moving into that picture and feeling what it feels like to have those intentions manifest right now, 3 to 4 of them. I usually think of, health, relationship, business. Can be beauty and rejuvenation. That's a great one with Taurus, but also home and family. But choose 3 or 4, because if you do your feelization daily, 17 seconds, feelization, and it begins the manifestation process. And you can do that every day, right? It's a great thing to do the first thing when you wake up in the morning. Really sets your day off correctly, because then you step into the energy and you have created the frequency of feeling, because facts don't create, but feelings do. And then live in that picture as much as possible. Live that feeling as you go through your day. Write your intentions down, and then gratitude. Gratitude is the fertile soil in which all intentions are planted. And fertile is a big word for Taurus. It has to do with the growth of spring. And what are you going to grow while Jupiter is in Taurus? What is your garden going to look like and feel like? You get the opportunity to step into it with the support of the biggest planet out there. So remember that big dream when Saturn, when we had that conjunction with Jupiter last year. Dream big and take a leap of faith. Now it's time to take a leap of faith. Pick the bold and daring ideas that are going to guide you to manifest step by step what you want to grow, and put the energy under that. You are all such lights. You're such gifts to the planet. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever doubt it. You are a very important component in the web of the new world that's being built. Thought by thought, word by word, action by action, feeling by feeling. Have a wonderful week. It's going to be a wild ride. So remember all the tools we've talked about. Enjoy your ride. I love you to the moon and way beyond.